Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Breakthrough with Coach Lew. It is Monday morning. Ready to have an amazing week, guys. Last week's show just pumped me up beyond no beyond. I mean, I don't know about you, but did you walk away from last week's show and actually do something and say, you know what, I'm actually moving, I'm shaking, I'm going, I'm doing this stuff? Now, you might say, oh, this sounds like business, and I'm not in business. I'm retired. I'm a student. I'm this, that. Now, I'm not talking about just stepping up and being motivated in your business. I'm talking about taking control of your life. Now, I got to ask you the question. Did you take control? Did you take an action to take control of your future, your life? Last week when we finished up the show, did you actually do something and take an action to get going? Okay. Last week we discovered how to take control of your future. We discovered the steps. We discovered what meaning plays as a role in this. So it's not what happens to you, remember? And if you didn't see last week's show, get over to our blog at XLR8Life.com and go watch that replay because it's important. But we found out that we're not always in control of the outside factors that come at us. What we are in control of is, what does this mean to me, number one? Number two, what am I going to do with it? Okay? FFRF. Fight, flight, freeze. Okay, we've heard those terms and they're beaten to death, but it's so true. You know, something's coming at you. Do you need to run from it? Is it a herd of angry bulls and, you know, they're running towards you and it doesn't matter how much you go, hey guys, let's get along. They're going to trample you, so you flight it on out of there. Or is it, you're backed in a corner and a robber's coming at you and your wife and, you got no other choice but to defend yourself or die. Okay, now you got to fight. And then the other one is freeze. You're walking through the jungle and you see a lion. You're not going to go, hey, I'm going to come punch you in the nose, dude. Or you're not going to start running because he's going to go, ooh, prey, dinner. You're going to go, don't move. He won't notice me. I look like a tree. Seriously, I mean, these are silly examples, guys. But I mean, it's the honest to God's truth. Is this not the way that we operate? Fight, flight, or freeze. When something comes at us. But then when you go and you say, okay, what is my actual outcome here? What do I want to do with this? When something happens, do you go into victim mode immediately? And oh my God, the government ruined my business during COVID. Well, some people it did. Other people turned around and went, shift, pivot. How can we operate within this nightmare of a debacle? Okay? And 90% of it was a debacle. And here it is. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it. People were like, oh, you act like COVID doesn't exist. I never denied that it didn't exist. What the debacle was is the way it was mismanaged and the way it was handled didn't save any lives. It actually cost more people's lives and it destroyed an economy. Because we were not prepared to go, okay, you need to have some safety nets in place. And this I'm not talking about our government. I'm talking about teaching you something here. You have to have safety nets in place when something comes at you that you don't overreact so badly that you take yourself in the situation. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. First thing you always have to do is assess, what does this mean? Something comes at you. What does this mean? A police officer comes in your place of business and asks for you. Oh my God, what does this mean? I'm in trouble. No, maybe not. Maybe he's coming in to say, hey, there's a car parked out back blocking the the access way. Can you guys, move it on out of there? That's not so bad, is it? It's not like, oh my God, I'm getting accused of a crime and I'm going to go to prison forever for something I didn't do. That's how people behave. Or, the blue lights come on driving down the road, or red lights, depending where you live, behind you, and you go, oh God, that's it. I'm going to get beat up by the police and arrested, and, probably because I was going 2 miles over. And he goes around you and takes off because he's going to rescue a kid in need. And you go, and then you find out it's like, yeah, it's your adrenaline's pumping that, oh, wow, okay, the real meaning of that was he had somebody to go rescue. See, if you use those analogies in life, okay, I know they're stupid simplified, but use those analogies in life for this, you'll understand that meaning is that first piece of it, okay? What does it mean? Then what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, stumble upon a tiger in the woods. Okay, did he see me? Oh, no, I can back up slowly and go the other way. No problem. Oh, he saw me, all right. I'm going to freeze. He saw me and he's running at me. Well, I wouldn't suggest running away from him, nor running at him. Get up a damn tree. You know what I mean? You'll have some more leverage there. Higher ground. You've heard it said, higher ground. Get on the higher ground, my friends. Whatever it is in life. Right now, whether it's your finances, whether it's your rights that you're protecting, whether it is your family, dealing with kids, dealing with the relationship, employees, get on the higher ground. He who is on higher ground usually wins. Okay, so get on that higher ground here and here. The emotional, the mental higher ground. If you're in reaction, did you ever notice you shrink down? When you're taking preventative or proactive action, you're up, you're in. If you're coming at me and you're going to yell at me and I'm like, want to talk? Let's talk. If I go, oh God, here comes the boss, you're going to stomp all over me. Higher ground. That also means, you want a little physiology lesson? That means stand the frick up straight. Don't walk around like, oh, I'm worried, I'm scared of everybody. You see this in the grocery store, especially the ones that still got, I'm scared of everybody. Wow, really? Come on. Instead, hey, good morning, how are you? It's not being aggressive and nasty, it's being aggressive and opening doors. Be aggressive to open communication with people. If I can teach you one thing today, and this wasn't even on the repertoire for the day, if I can teach you something, be open. Open those doors. Open that smile on a person. Open that person's conversation. Open their heart. You don't know these people that you're walking by all day long, wherever you're not interacting with them. They might be on their last thread. All they might need is a smile to save their life, save their day, turn their day around. Smile, communicate, okay? And this is important. That's why I want you to be aggressive. I want you to be aggressive to show the people that you think, look at you and go, oh, they're arrogant. They don't like me. They're this color. They're that color. And just break down that wall and just, good morning. How are you? Oh my God, I get this all the time where people are kind of looking at me like, judgy man here, the way he looks, dresses, whatever. And I'm like, good morning. Or I hold the door for somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, we're not freaking enemies in this world, okay? You're my enemy when you come at me with ill intent. You're my enemy when you come at me to do harm. You're my enemy if you're a liar and a cheat and you don't want to. But other than that, you're not my enemy for any other reason until you give me a reason to be an enemy. That's everybody out there, my friends. They're not your enemy. Trust me, somebody's not your enemy because of the color of their skin, the way they speak, the language they speak, where they were born, how they live, what they do for a living, what their religion is. They're not automatically your enemy. But we walk around treating each other like we're each other's enemies. And, silly. Doesn't mean you all go in this Pollyanna and nobody's out to get me, nobody's bad. No, there are bad people out there. There are bad people that are after you. Well, we had this conversation. I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day. She was talking about bikers. And she's like, everybody thinks that the bikers were horrible people and bad and just going to terrorize everybody. And you know what? There was that small percentage, that just was, rogue totally out of it. But it was more like, I kind of compare it to the mafia. If you don't do anything, you don't screw them over, and you're not doing something to actually be on the offense with a biker or the mafia or whatever, or the police, you got nothing to worry about. Okay? That's more of a brotherhood, a camaraderie, whatever it is. Maybe if it's a girl bike gang or bike club, let's call it a club. A sisterhood. That's more of a, something like that. And it was so funny because it was like, what it boiled down to was loyalty. Loyalty opens more doors. Loyalty helps you get through more. Okay, I made a little detour there, but I think these are important skills to teach in today's world because this is part of taking control of your future, of your life. And I use those interchangeably, but it's kind of a little bit different because taking control of your life is more of a here and now. Taking control of your future is more of a long-term plan. Okay? You follow me on that one? All right, so remember the 4 steps I gave you last week. I'm going to do a quick review. Number 1 was make a decision here and now that you are only in control of your future. Now, you might be sitting there going, Coach, I did all my homework. Why the hell are we doing this again? Do it again. Pick something else. It's a new week. And for the rest of you, probably the 90% that said, I'll get to this, and life got in the way, and other people's demands and other people's controls got in your way of doing your homework, this might be your first time. And if it's not, pick a new topic to work with this week. All right, make a decision here and now. You are only in control of your future. Okay, and we've described, talked to you 100 times, you don't always control what happens or what other people do. You just control the meaning and your decision on how to act upon that. Along with this decision also comes commitment to yourself that you and you alone are responsible for your actions or lack thereof. You're not responsible for the idiot that drives into your car in traffic. You are responsible that you don't get out waving a gun and going, you're an idiot, or punching somebody because they bumped into you in a parking lot and now you have an assault charge. Okay, that you're not responsible for the fact they bumped into your car, but you are responsible for how you respond to that. Okay, quick story. Guy and gal bump into each other, backing out, boom, smash into each other. They get out and they're like, oh my God, it's really kind of both our faults. And, sorry, I'm on my way to pick up my kid from, the middle school. And the guy goes, yeah, me too, It's hard, trying to balance everything out when you're a single parent. And all of a sudden they're looking at each other and, and they see each other for these amazing people that they are. They're raising the kids on their own. They're trying to pack it all in. They were at the store getting, good, healthy food for their kids. And they strike up a conversation. Long story short, next thing you know, you got Brady Bunch. And they live happily ever after. Now, if they had gotten out swearing and cursing and spitting and calling police and, blame when it was basically both their faults because they were both not paying attention because they both had a common goal and that was get to their kids. Wow. Imagine that. But again, not responsible for the fact the other person didn't look in their mirror and maybe you didn't look in your mirror. You're only responsible for looking in your own mirror. But think of a story that ends like that as opposed to one that ends with the police there and, somebody says she spit on me and he shoved me and everybody's going to jail. Instead, they end up being the Brady Bunch happily ever after. But imagine if you didn't play any more blame games. Stop blaming everybody else for your problems. Now, if somebody backs into you because they're not paying attention and you had no part of that because you were just sitting in your parking space, yeah, they're the ones who caused the accident, but again, your response, insurance is going to pay for it, okay? And you don't know where that person was or why they weren't paying attention, They might have gotten a call that their kid's been hurt, and the last thing they were trying to think of is being overly careful in the parking lot. They were thinking of getting to the hospital. Maybe, maybe not. Not saying you walk around and just forgive everybody for all their stupidity. No, there's a lot of stupidity going on in this world, and that's why I'm trying to get everybody, and not that you and I could ever do a stupid move or have a stupid moment, but think about it. What if we stop blaming everybody else for our shortcomings, our lack of action, our incorrect decisions sometimes? What if you go, you know what, I screwed up, but let me learn from this. Let me just not do this again. Okay, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to get the same results. And if the results you're getting are not what you like, change what the hell you're doing. This is simple. This is so simple, it's not even funny. Does it take work and effort? Yes. But the concept is so simple, guys, that if you just take the time, stop blaming, take responsibility for your actions and your decisions. It's not always going to be nice. It's not always going to be the tastiest pill. It's not always going to be as tasty as Life Boost coffee. It might be as gross as Starbucks coffee once in a while. I don't know. Let's carry on before I get on a rant. All right, number 2, create a crystal clear vision of what it is your future is. And equally important, what it's not. Now, I'm just reviewing last week. We got more in depth into this. Crystal clear future of what it is. Okay, I'm going to get up an hour earlier. I'm going to do X, Y, Z every morning. I'm going to add in a morning routine. What it is not is hitting the snooze button 25 times. Okay, you can have a crystal clear vision on what you should do and you end up shitting all over yourself. Or you could have a crystal clear vision of what you will do and what you will not do. The power of no is just as good as the power of yes when harnessed properly. Number 3, create the map or the GPS to get there. MAP is massive action plan. Now, I didn't coin that term. That's Tony Robbins' term. And I don't know, maybe he got it from somebody else. But massive action plan, massive action planning, mass action plan, however you want to term it. But you've got to have you got to have it written out. You've got to have a specific plan to get to where you're going. Okay, what's the time frame? Time frame's important. I want to make $1 million. When? A year? 2 years? Over your entire lifetime? When is that? Okay, it doesn't mean that if you make $999,000 in, 372 days that you're a failure because you said you were going to do it in a year. But what is that time frame? What is the trajectory? How do you get there? Remember the example I gave about the airplane? Going from New York to Los Angeles, 90% of the time, it's off course. Winds, redirect, this, that, the other, air traffic. But they managed to land on a dime. That isn't because of a guess. And most importantly, who do you got to become? Who do you have to become at your soul level? Who do you have to become to accomplish this and be this person that, number 1, you don't play the blame game anymore. You make decisions, you go forward, and you own them. Number 2, you have that crystal clear vision of what you will and will not have in your life. You'll map it out. And then number 4, you take these habits that you've succeeded with and keep them. The habits that have held you back, dispose of them. Too often, we do something great. We get our results, we hit the outcome, and we stop doing those amazing habits. We see this all the time in dietary, exercise, marketing and business, relationships. You start letting your relationship go sideways. Oh, we're too tired to have, good physical relations. We're tired. We got kids. He knows I love him. She knows I love her. Oh yeah, it's we've been together a long time. That's for people just dating. You can't do that kind of stuff anymore. Or what? Do it? What, in the car? Oh God, no. That's for when you were a teenager. And then you wonder why relationships die. Marketing. You put out this big marketing plan. We're going to do signs. We're going to do mailers. We're going to call our clients. We're going to do this. Do it for 30 days. You rekindle 30 new clients and you're like, woo, yeah, we're on fire, baby, better than ever. And then you stop doing all this and 90 days, 120 days later, you're like, see, it always levels back out. No, you stopped doing what you were doing, the habits that were making it work. What if you hadn't stopped those habits and you could mouse 30 more clients every month for that 90-day period? Wow! Imagine that. How different would that look than stopping the good habits and letting it dwindle right back down to where it was? Well, we can always do it again. So you just want to bounce up and down within a tiny little frame of success? Or do you want to continue to grow? Keep those habits. Okay? This is a time, if you don't act, you go backwards. And you're going to tell me, Coach, this is hard. Yes, initially this is going to be more work going through your maps and creating and everything else until you develop the habits. Once you develop the habits, you're on autopilot. Okay? It was hard to start drinking celery juice every morning. You know what the hardest part is making the juice and cleaning the damn juicer. Okay? So I make it up for days and put it in some jars. But still, initially developing that habit was like, oh, this is one more thing I got to frickin' do in the morning. Now it's just pour, go. That's the first thing. Get up, pray for a minute, be grateful for a minute, stagger out to the kitchen. Yeah, I'm sleepy when I wake up sometimes. Sometimes I wake up like I've already had my coffee. But, boom, hit down that celery juice, get on the rebounder, do some yoga, drink some lemon water, have a great breakfast, have my coffee, and then I really am hammy, ready to go. But no, seriously. Initially, it's going to be more work until you develop the habit, but then it's easier. And you're like, Coach, it's overwhelming. I just don't even know where to start. There's just, oh my God, this whole... Did anybody, if you play guitar, did you pick up a guitar and play Stairway to Heaven? No, you were like... And you're like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. And I got to learn to read music on top of it. And these triads are all over the frickin', there's a D triad here, up here, up here. Why is there so many? Because down the road, you're going to understand if you're playing something up here, you don't want to come back over here to do this one, to hit that D or whatever. All over the fretboard where they are, but this is overwhelming. If somebody just said, here it is, and threw you a book and said, do this all today, you'd go, I'm not a guitarist or piano player or accountant or whatever it is. Accounting, my God, the theory behind that. Somebody has Looney Tunes. That should be a whole lot simpler than it is. This is what you brought in, this is what you spent, this is what your profit is. How hard is that? No, we've got a balance sheet, and this, that, and the... I think it was created to create millions of dollars spent on accountants and bookkeepers. I really do. Because it's way more complicated than it needs to be. Initially. But once you're an accountant and you've studied this and you understand the theory, once you play guitar and you play a song and you go, now I get that, now I understand. Oh, now it's not overwhelming. It's just part of what you do. You've just taken this little circle of influence where you could strum a C chord, I'm playing guitar, to all over the fretboard, and you're going, this isn't overwhelming. Now I understand. Now it all comes together. And yeah, it's initially more work. But these actions, as you adapt to them, you get better and things get infinitely easier. All of a sudden, somebody invites you to play a gig if you're a guitarist or whatever you do, or sing or speak, and they tell you, you're in the C major. I can play any song. Especially if you lead, because there's a lot more flexibility there. But just saying, it's no longer, oh my God, I got to learn every song in that song set, or I've got to learn every theory of accounting that could possibly ever apply. You already have this in you. It becomes automatic. That's the habit part. All right, I'm digging deep here and giving too many examples. I got to get you guys off here. All right. If you haven't taken action, do it today, okay? Ready? I'm going to have you do a little exercise with me. I'm going to repeat after me, and you're going to insert your own name and your own activities where I pause. I commit today to take action, to better my life, to take control, and to have the life I want. This is not a spectator sport. I must participate. I can, I will, and I am worth the investment. Today I commit to do 4 days consistently. My reward for doing is beautiful. Okay? So that's going to be on the post if you go back and watch the replay, but I'm going to do it after you. All right, ready? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to insert something for myself here, and you're going to say it with me. I, Lew, commit today to take action in my life, take control, and have the life that I want. This is not a spectator sport. I must participate. I can, I will, and I am worth the investment. Today I commit to eating clean for 90 days consistently. My reward for doing this is a weekend at the beach. Okay? You might want to be a little more specific than eating clean. That has a specific meaning to me as opposed to, that's funny. I'm catching some light, guys. I'm striped. I'm tiger this morning. No, seriously. But eating clean has a specific meaning to me where it may not have a specific meaning to you. Oh, this is just funny watching this on the monitor, but hey, this is always fun. If you guys are listening on a podcast, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but there's some light coming into the blinds on one of our windows and reflecting off a car and just and striping my face. Anyway, your homework today after the show, and I mean after the show, not tomorrow, not next week, not start Monday, because immediate action ensures your success. Okay? Taking control of your future. It is worth it. Okay? So do one of your commitments today. One of your commitments. So I committed today to eating clean. I'm eating clean today. I'm not going to, at the office, take one of those little ding-dongy things and you know, or whatever, one of those little snacks or anything like that anybody's got laying around and go, oh, just one bite, or oh, just a little bit of this, or just one string cheese. No, eating clean is not eating string cheese, okay? Even though it's in our fridge at work. So I'm going to do it. And just today's the day. It's not, I'm going to start tomorrow or next Monday, I'm going to start eating clean. It starts right here and now. Same thing with you. If you said, I'm going to start a savings plan so that I can get some money ahead to begin a new business, you're going to go to the bank and put $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is, in this special savings account because you're already going to have said, I need X amount to start this business. And you're going to start saving for it today. Yay. Maybe you file your DBA today. Maybe you got enough in savings to do it. Maybe you file your company today. Let's do this, guys. All right, so make sure that you check our links for Life Boost Coffee. I know I beat it to death, but I'm very big on your H1. I'm going to give you an H1 tip of the day, and I'm going to cut you free. Toxins, chemicals, etc. are the worst part of our foods today. There are things that are approved to be in our food that shouldn't be. My God, if you're putting on deodorant in the morning, and it's a commercial deodorant, it's got aluminum in it, which is toxic. That's a big contributor to brain diseases, okay? So stuff like that. So most coffees are loaded with toxins because of the profit factor. If the bugs eat the beans, yet they can't get them to market, can't sell them to you at the big old Smucks place, and charge you $5 a cup or $7 a cup for coffee and the worst dairy milk and the cheapest products that they can feed you, and then cover it over with sugar. Okay? So Life Boost Coffee, the reason I endorse it, organically grown, single sourced, mycotoxin free, which mycotoxins are just simply molds. And it's delicious, and it's got a ton of antioxidants. It's great, and it gets delivered to your door. But the thing is, the really cool thing I like is they roast it by the order. It's roasted for you, not sitting in a warehouse somewhere. So I'll put the links in the post, so go back and you see them all over the site. But I am an affiliate, but I was a customer long before I decided to be an affiliate of theirs. So I get a small commission if you do order. That's not going to make me rich, but it does help with some of the show costs. All right, guys, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lew signing off. I want you to have an amazing day, a blessed day, and have the best day ever.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dreams.